Spider-Man Far From Home. Mm-hmm. Now that was through the roof for me. And I think we could go ahead and talk about it now, finally, right? Everyone, it's been out for a week, and we could give our thoughts. So what'd you think? What'd you think,
Man, dude, what did I not think?
By the way, let me interrupt you real quick.
Yeah,
we just came back from watching it, because us two, we watched it already like a few days ago, and then we were going to do this, and he was like, I haven't seen it, maybe you guys could just talk about it. I'm like, no, come on, man, you have to give
it
your
is good.
opinion on it.
I would have saw it 2 days in a row, or no, the second time, right? Because I saw it Wednesday night. Oh yeah, 2 days in a row.
Yeah.
I just had to watch Stranger Things though, so.
Wow.
What are your thoughts on it?
Oh my
You just came
God.
out of this movie.
Look, dude, quick overview is Spider-Man has become, today, one of my most favorite Marvel movies that I've ever seen in my life, to be honest. It was so good. It was so good, guys. I want to say something bad, because that's my nature, but I don't have anything bad to say about this movie. It was so... Daniel. My God, I loved it.
We're going in depth and really share.
Well, we're gonna give our non-spoiler review. We don't want to spoil it for people that don't.
I would call it. I heard someone else say this, on the internet, and I really have to really support them. And it's probably one of the best told stories, I think, in a Marvel movie, aside from what's the one that everybody likes, Winter Soldier, right? Winter Soldier is just a great storytelling from beginning to end. I really love that they gave us so much more character depth to Mysterio. Definitely, you would think that, you probably went in as a comic book fan or as a Spider-Man fan, you would think you go in kind of already knowing the history of Mysterio. But you're definitely not ready for it. Really, his powers are really awesome. They really take you just for like a left turn, like, whoa, like I didn't expect it to be to that degree. Really, almost, I would feel kind of excited to see him almost going against Doctor Strange in a sense. I know the power level's not there, not to give away too much, but just to see like...
But you liked it, right?
I liked it. I loved
you liked it right
I
now.
love the movie.
So what's your overview of the movie?
So, I'm an optimistic when it comes to film. I know that our camera guy over there, he's laughing at me. Because he thinks that I'm too positive. But to be completely honest, as you can see, I really love the film. I think that if you've even dipped your toes into the Marvel universe, and you know a little bit about Iron Man, you know a little bit about Doctor Strange, you saw Endgame because it was so hyped up about everything, you are going to love this film, man. And I think that take out the superhero aspect of it. Mm-hmm. What really, really got me is the first 2 acts of the film. Yeah. Like, the first act, the setup of the kids coming together, the relationships, the surprise relationships that came out of it. Mysterio was like, oh man, it's like one of my favorite villains now, to be completely honest with you, man.
Yeah, he's really good.
Just so many things about the film worked, and it had nothing to do with the superhero aspect. And that, for me, growing up in the 90s and watching what was the cartoon?
Amazing Spider-Man.
Amazing Spider-Man. That felt like I was watching that show again.
You know what? You're right.
Took
That's
me
probably
back
the
to the
only
90s,
film
man.
that's made me feel that
and
way.
I was like, my God, this is what I've been waiting for, man.
Yes.
Like, and like, I'm not really a big fan of the junior Spider-Man, like Spider-Man not knowing what to do, but I could see how they're building Spider-Man up to become what I think in my head is Marvel. Like, for me, the main gem or the diamond on top of everything, for me, has always been Spider-Man. And so, not Iron Man, not Thor, not all these other big superheroes. It's been Spider-Man.
I completely agree with that.
Coming from New York, too. I mean, I love Spider-Man.
I completely agree with that because Spider-Man has always been, I would call the face, not Captain America, not Iron Man. So, I really like the setup from, Avengers Endgame. Yeah. I mean, I'll spoil that because it's been out for so long. It even got re-released. So when Tony Stark dies, Iron Man, it really sets up Spider-Man to really take the helm and be the face. And I don't think it's a move to market towards like kids or nothing. Even as adults, for sure. Ish was saying, it's really the character development of Peter Parker himself was so great in the movie, and you really do see Is this what you would call kind of like a coming of age? I never really.
Yeah, I think
It's
I
another
think so.
one.
It's
kind of like a coming
it's,
of age. Yeah.
It's like a double one, yeah.
Yeah, and just like the way he said,
Sequel to it.
yeah, for his character, it's.
I love the
excited.
movie, guys. Honestly, if I could have, if I were to say the things that this film did, just even including those end credits,
Which
honestly,
you will be able to because there's going to be a spoiler review
in another
Absolutely.
video, so we'll be able to talk about that.
And the things that happen in those end credits, you're absolutely right, Ish. The things that happen in these end credits are, they were, oh my god, man.
Fan service.
You know when they give you fan
So many
service,
questions.
they give you fan service and you see it and you're like, you don't sometimes want it, but when they give it to you, it's such like beautiful symphony of just, that's the way I felt about the end credits of this movie. This movie touched so many parts in my in my mind. The way that they went about doing it, they did it really like a comic book. I felt like I was watching a comic book come to life. This movie
that's
was
fair.
so great. I can't find anything wrong with it yet, but I gotta watch it again, guys. But I'm gonna tell you one thing.
I could find some
storytelling.
stuff. I do see that.
I have to watch it again. It's marvelous, guys. I love this movie, and it's not just because I just watched it. I've seen a lot of movies and I walk out and I'm ready to just destroy it. But this movie really just, to me, guys, it just,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I really,
For sure.
and we were waiting to talk about it because this is our first show. But the fact that we're now being able to talk about it and they're saying the same thing I am is just amazing. Great movie, guys. I can't say more good things about
you
it.
know-
Good storytelling. Right?
You know we're fans when you talk about end credit scene and a grown man says beautiful to describe the end credit scene. So I'll leave you guys at that.